So let me start this video with a epic toy hunt at the clearance aisle of Target. So clearance for $12.59 is going to be this G.I. Joe Tiger Force Duke and Drum cycle. So from $41.99 to $20 to $12.59. So without clearanced out action figures, I won't be able to do my kitbash work. So we have once again 3 action figures on the table for us to enjoy. So let's start with G.I. Joe Classified Series Combando Duke. So let's identify body parts on this action figure. So the head, the neck, the body, and the arms belong to G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force Duke. Now the man briefs and the legs and the boots, that's going to belong to G.I. Joe Classified Series Sergeant Stalker. Let's identify gear on this action figure. So the bandolier, that comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force Duke. Now the battle belt, basic battle belt, comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force Outback. The holster, that comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force Outback, but the pistol belongs to your Crimson Guard, Cobra Crimson Guard. Okay, so let's move to the back. The knife belongs to G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force Outback. And these brown pockets on the battle belt, which I also have with another figure that comes from Marvel Legends. I think it's the Walgreens Punisher. Yeah. So very basic, very light, and he has everything for weapons system. So pistol, knife, rifle. Now last thing, as for the rifle, this comes from Action Force Valorverse, but we have a modified mag on it. And that's how to modify the magazine on this Action Force Valorverse accessory to make it more bearable, because the Action Force Valorverse magazines are just way too small. So I made a video, previous video 4 months ago. So just check this video out. Action Force Valorverse 1:12 scale toy accessory fix. So I explained how to convert that small magazine to a regular sized magazine like this. And the last modification that I did to this action figure was just to apply a little bit of acetone to take off the paint on this area. So that used to be white. It represents the white shirt that Duke wears underneath his combat uniform or combat shirt. So just to match the green combat uniform and the combat shirt, so I just took off the paint. So the highlight is just going to be the red color. Next character that we're going to tackle is G.I. Joe Classified Series Commando Snake Eyes. So let's identify body parts on this action figure for compatibility. Okay, so the head and the neck comes from Series 1 G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes. Now the body, the arms, that comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Sergeant Stalker. The man briefs, the legs, boots, that comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force Outback. Now, why the difference between the body and the legs? Well, the Sergeant Stalker legs did not come with knee pads, so I had to swap them out with the G.I. Joe Classified Series Outback ones, because I wanted knee pads on my Commando Snake Eyes. As for compatibility issue with body parts, is going to be the body of Sergeant Stalker and the neck of Series 1 G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes. Well, it's actually really not much of a problem. At first, when you try to fit the neck and the peg on the body, it's going to be a little bit wobbly. But with just a little fix, a little bit of fillers, plastic glue, it's going to work and stay. So this is how the Generation 1 or Series 1's G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes action figure would look like when you take out all of the accessories on the body. So especially on the this section and the arms and the back. So I transferred everything to the Sergeant Stalker body. So this part, that's why it is hollow, because it's form-fitting. So we have the armbands with side pockets for storage of gear. We have the bandolier, which I also transferred, the pistol belt, the dual pistol belt I mean, the holster, and the knife. So let's take a look at the back. So this is just the two items that I added. So of course I have this figure with a G36 rifle chambered in 5.56, so he needs 2 additional magazines. So as for the rifle, that comes from Action Force Valverse, and it has a modified magazine. Hasbro has placed out a lot of G.I. Joe Classified series or variants of Snake Eyes, even a Commando Snake Eyes, but actually it's just a little bit of changes here and there, tweaks here and there, but nothing really major that the new action figure really stands out. So when you place all of the variants that Hasbro's come up with, especially the one with the retro-carded one, I mean, that utilizes the Sergeant Stalker body just in black color, it's just two-way plain Jane. So I wanted something really different. So when I place this action figure in my display case, it's just not going to be drowned out by the other G.I. Joe Classified series figures that are more colorful compared to Snake Eyes, because Snake Eyes is all black. So I just want a change in color for my personal Snake Eyes action figure. So that's also the one reason why instead of having the visor black, I painted it silver. So somehow when you take a look at the display case, you could immediately identify Snake Eyes, not just because of a different body color that he has on right now, but also because the head stands out because of the colored visor. Well, anyway, this is a toy, might as well beautify the one that I really want to have and display. And the last character that we're going to talk about is G.I. Joe Classified series Commando Tunnel Rat. So this is my second kitbash version of Tunnel Rat, and I think this is the final one. So let's talk about the build. So G.I. Joe body parts identification. So let's start with the head. So the head is going to be from the G.I. Joe Classified series Snake Eyes Origins movie figure Snake Eyes. So the alternate head unit, the unmasked version, that's going to be it. So I purchased another one because I found one on clearance for $5, so I was able to use that head unit for this build. Okay, so the arms and the body comes from G.I. Joe Classified series Flint. Now the man briefs, the legs and the boots, that comes from G.I. Joe Classified series Python Patrol Cobra Officer. But the pistol belt, that comes from G.I. Joe Classified series Tiger Force Recondo. So we have the action figure on a T-pose. Okay, so let's identify gear and additional modification on the action figure. So of course the head unit does not come with face paint, so I had to apply face paint to it. So the Flint also did not have paint, camouflage black paint on the arms, so I had to apply paints. And just a little bit of paint on the body, on this section, to somehow mimic continuity from the face to the neckline. Okay, so bump helmet with night vision goggles. So that comes from Action Force Valverse. Now, pistol and the chest rig, that comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force Recondo. The heavy backpack, this comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Tiger Force Outback. So with the holder for the flashlight and the L-shaped flashlight. So those comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Outback. Now with the thigh mounted things, we have the magazines for the main weapon. So this comes from Marvel Legends. I think it's the Netflix Punisher, another variant of the Netflix Punisher, and the Eric Killmonger figure. So I have at least 4 of these, which I used to rotate with my action figure build. So I'm still in the process of searching for more thigh mounted magazine holsters like this. Okay, so that's the very simple accessories that is attached to the action figure. So let's talk about weapon systems. So this comes from Action Force Valverse, but I already modded this to have a scope and a suppressor. So additional accessories that we have on this action figure is going to be, of course, additional Action Force Valverse stuff. So this pistol, so your Glock 17 with suppressor, with a red dot sight, and an underbellied flashlight, and a 30 round magazine, and of course to be paired with an L-shaped flashlight. So the lens, I also painted it yellow. So you're not going to crawl or claw your way into confined spaces with a super ginormous backpack with headlamps and a ginormous machine gun like this. So you're going to take these two things off and you're going to enter tunnel systems this way, just with your bump helmet with night vision goggles, L-shaped flashlight, and a pistol. So pistol with a suppressor, of course, so you're not going to hurt your ears even if you have sound protection on your bump helmet, but at least you're well armed with a 30 round stick magazine with an underbellied flashlight just for backup, even though you still have night vision goggles and a L-shaped flashlight on. So just like how the tunnel rats operated during the Vietnam War. So this style, this conversion. In a shorts video, I featured this tunnel rat action figure with 2 thigh attachments. Actually, it's a Action Force Valverse med kit and a knife. But somehow I did not like the balance on the action figure, so I took it off and placed these 2 accessories on. So somehow they provide balance to the look of the action figure, and at the same time it thickens or bulks up the thighs of the action figure. So anatomically speaking, it's nice to really look at right now. So this is the Tunnel Rat version, and this is the G.I. Joe Tunnel Rat version. So I could mix and match 2 classic designs and at the same time have just one system on board. Last thing that I would like to mention with regards to the Tunnel Rat action figure is going to be the bump helmet from Action Force Valverse and the head unit from G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes. Now, the head is not going to fit the helmet when you try it on at first, but there is a solution to that. Just subject the helmet to about 45 seconds of high heat using your hair dryer. Now it's going to be nice, soft, and pliable, and that's the time that you're going to fit it on top of the snake eyes head, and it's going to fit nicely onto the head sculpt of that action figure. So as you could see, the nods is going to sit properly in level with the eyes of the head sculpt. So this ends my review of G.I. Joe Classified Series Kitbash Commandos. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel. And see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.